Alright everybody, so we are back for another week, and as we are recording this a day early because it's Thanksgiving this week in the United States, we have a little bit less to talk about, but it doesn't mean we're not going to at least try to entertain you, for whatever that is worth. We do have some updates on big productions and things going on in the comic book film entertainment business, and a little bit of Star Wars, such as Black Panther 2, Deadpool officially joining the MCU, some Mandalorian talk, and MCU 2021 productions. So with that in mind, quickly let me just say thank you to all the members. Make sure you guys are checking that tab every so often for new discussions and videos. So now let's get to the actual show. Yeah, so another podcast, recording this a day early, so it should be interesting. I think due to that, then I'll try to get this podcast out early, so instead of Saturday, you guys will be hearing this on Friday, which means a day after Thanksgiving, which should be good, you know, on that Black Friday where people can, I don't know how they're doing Black Friday this year, honestly, so go get a PlayStation 5 if you're clown enough to believe you're going to find one on a shelf. Anyways, I am your host, Armin. You can find me, I'll be real with you, I'm just grinding away at Call of Duty now again. It's another year, another COD, so, yes, but who else is grinding away on another game that rhymes with Schmestiny is Mitch.
Oh yeah, you can find me on that game or on Twitter, Mitch692. They've done some hell of a lot of good things in that game.
So I see in the reviews, I'm like,
Like they just released a new quest for an exotic sword, and it's laughably overpowered.
Oh,
it's really fun to use. It's probably going to get nerfed in 2 weeks.
I was going to say, so you got to get it before it gets nerfed.
Yeah, it's just like wow, like things just like see you and melt. It's really funny. It's like, oh, you have a yellow HP bar, bye.
Well, that's good.
And that's been my life.
At least we both got some games to grind away at. Now, our third member, Tristan, is also here with us this week.
Yeah, and I have the exaggerated swagger of a black teen.
Oh, I was wondering if you were going to drop that one. Yes.
Yeah, you can catch me at SJ Chance on Twitter.
Oh, man.
Was it GameSpot who did that?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, it wasn't bad. It was just really, really cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are going like, "Oh, white guy can't say that." It's like the guy who reviewed it isn't white, apparently. Like,
Yeah, he wasn't. To get the full context of it, he wasn't white, and he wasn't saying it in a bad context.
Right.
He was trying to make it a good thing, but it just came out really cringe.
It's just a weird sentence to say. Okay.
I mean, what a good game, though. Jesus. Oof, man. It's one of the few games that I platinumed by complete accident. Like, I didn't even realize it was going to happen when I did a New Game Plus just because I wanted to and I want to max out everything. It's like, you platinumed it. I was like, oh, well, okay.
Yeah, it's good. It was weird how to platinum it because you have to, for people who don't know, you have to play the game twice.
Yep. Well, I mean, luckily, if you just want to run through the story mode, it'll take you like 4 or 5 hours just to be on, like, you know, just straight line through the main story. Yeah. But if you do everything, it lasted me probably the first run, like, I don't know, 14 hours. So it's...
Yeah. I think it was like complete. If you just do the story, it's like, 4 or 5 hours. But if you play some of the side missions while going through the story, it's around, I think they said it's anywhere between like 10 to 12 hours and then like 18 hours to complete the whole entire game if you're going to platinum it.
Mm-hmm. And then you got
Has anyone got the Astro's Playroom Platinum?
No, but I'm working on it.
Yeah. Good man.
I have seen, I haven't played it yet, but I have seen it. It's actually pretty damn good.
So good.
Well, from what I see,
such a nothing little game, but it's like, wow.
And that's the thing. Cool. People are like, look, if you're a PlayStation fan, you want 100% this game because it's all about it. And then by the time you 100% it, you'll have the platinum. It's like, I feel like I owe it to my soul to complete this.
I was going to say, if you've been around since the PS1 and before that, the end of that game, you absolutely have to play.
I was so giddy. Yeah.
it's from what I see, it's filled with like cameos and Easter eggs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Literally, the first level you go into, there's like Kratos and.
I've seen that.
It's on a boat. It's just like wow.
I was shocked with how many Easter eggs were in there, and like I picked up on most of them. Some of them I got lost in, and Shay was like, "Hey, that's that game." I was like, "Oh!" Like even she knew some of them. I was like, "Oh damn, that's like." You know, it really takes you back to those old PlayStation days. Pretty good stuff there. Like, what a good gaming time. We all got PlayStation 4, 5s. What the hell's out?
I mean, I got 4 directly in front of me, and the 5 because it's too big is off to the side.
Okay, up the 5 is out. Jesus, that's how. Oh, what a year, man! What a year.
Yeah, the white collar worker right there.
So I did end up like just playing Miles more though. I think I'm gonna play it again. That game is it's just fun to relax and swing around New York. And I will say this: the New York in Miles Morales actually feels like New York, unlike Marvel's Spider-Man, where I'm sorry, but that felt like just it could be any generic city. Like the way they have New York look and it sounds with the music and the people, and it just feels like New York. That's
And for people whining about the Chrysler building not being there, apparently the company that owns it didn't want it to be in the game.
True story. The reason that the convention center is never in it is because many of those buildings are owned by the mob, and they do not agree, and you cannot put their products in there. So sometimes if new ownership happens, like, you know, you're more integrated with the mob and things that were happening since Giuliani in the 80s, you don't even ask for permission. You just don't put it in there because reasons. So if people really want to know why some things like that happen, there's some fascinating documentaries out there on why. Like, I can use this building, but not this specific door. It's like, why? And then they go into the details. You're like, oh, if I was to put that door, like, I might just get disappeared at night. That's kind of crazy. Like, it's very comic book sounding, so I guess it's appropriate. Like,
So it's very American.
oh God, yeah.
Very American.
So I guess with that in mind, we're just going to jump right on into our starting off the show with our first topic here. Marvel 2021, we got more and more production updates, and it sounds like Nick Fury is definitely going to start shooting in spring to early summer, by all accounts. Now, this report also comes with the sort of like asterisk next to it that it looks like Marvel Studios is going to start shooting 2 to 3 projects at once at any given time, which that's quite a lot. So like
I mean, it's how the movies have been working recently.
Yeah,
You've always had 2 or 3 in the go.
Yep.
So it makes sense for the show.
It really does. Like, I think it makes sense for the shows, but also it tells you that I think they're just going to start doing exactly what they did with the film side. Like you said, they're just going to expand this out to, like, blanket the industry, if that makes sense, right? Like, it's just going to be like, look, Marvel Studios is shooting this right now, this here, film production here, TV production next door. Like, they're literally becoming, for all intents and purposes, like an actual studio that's run independently from Disney, which is definitely the sense I'm getting now. Like, Kevin Feige's just like driving this bus of everything and nobody can stop it. Like, even Disney's like, we'll just take a hands-off approach now, which I think is a good approach for them to have, because you know, they shouldn't meddle too much. That's
I mean, we all saw the reaction to Iron Man 2 when it came out.
Yep. They hopefully learned from Iron Man 2 when they were like, we know better than you. Oh, okay. Give that back to you guys. So with all these multiple productions starting up, Nick Fury being a pretty important one that's going to happen in terms of what we think we know and what direction they're taking it in. What?
Should also add, it's not actually Nick Fury show. He's just going to be.
Yeah, well,
probably the more.
Right, we don't know the
Apparently.
whole scope of it. We know Nick Fury is starring in it, but we don't know if it's like a sword show or Young Avengers.
I imagine it's Sword.
I would imagine too. My guess is also going to be they're not going to call it Agents of Sword because, again, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't a Kevin Feige thing, so he probably wants to distance himself a little bit from that title. Like, that's just my guess.
Yeah, more than likely.
Uh-huh.
More than likely. Maybe we see some people from that. Who knows? That it won't be Agents. If it is Agents of S.W.O.R.D., I'd be surprised.
Yeah, same.
Isn't it Moon Knight and She-Hulk filming in March?
Yes.
Is that what I read somewhere? Yeah.
It seems like it, yeah. Well, they're saying She-Hulk could be one of those overlapping where maybe it's already started production before March, but Moon Knight definitely in March, and then other productions picking up right from that, because by all accounts, it sounds like they want to do multiple seasons for Loki, Wanda, and Falcon and Winter Soldier, so if those get auto-renewed, which I don't see why they're not going to, I mean, are they going to be shooting like 6 to 9 shows next year? Is that what I'm understanding? Like, that's.
With everything going on this year, yeah, you probably are. Because the amount of shows that have had to be moved around, next year's going to be busy. They're just throwing them into like the equivalent of like Phase 3 deep end schedule.
Well, I mean,
oh god,
going into 2021, right there in the early odds, like Miss Marvel will still be shooting and wrapping up production because we just got the photos of that. It's like, oh wow, like, yeah, Miss Marvel. That's like full on swing production.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those photos. How come we're not talking about that?
Well, that's kind of I wanted to toss that in here, so I guess we'll combine that. Boy, like that show came out of nowhere. Like we kind of heard last week. It's like, oh yeah, in Atlanta, they're probably doing some shooting, and then here's your photos of Miss Marvel dressed up as Captain Marvel and her friends like Bruce Banner. That's cool. That looks good. Like,
isn't that's just how Bruno looks, isn't it?
True.
Yeah, it could very well be a Bruce Banner thing, but like from what I remember of the original run, like Bruno just wears a lab coat. Like, he's that guy.
I liked it, but it also was kind of funny to me because it was like Kamala was wearing that was it the cheesy Halloween costume.
If you look at it, I think it's actually homemade.
I think it's.
I don't think it's a Halloween. She's made it herself.
What's that paper crafting cosplay technique? It's paper. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Is that something craft or something?
Yeah, paper craft. I don't know what it is. But yeah, it kind of looked like a mashup of that and a Halloween costume that you buy at like Party City, which it's really cool. Like I liked seeing that.
I say that the top half's definitely just like a red leather jacket with some bit stuff.
Yeah,
because to me it's like something from Party City. It's like instead of Captain Marvel, you got Captain Woman.
I mean, yeah. No, like those set pictures are like, yeah, I'm sold. That's just instantly exactly what it needed to be.
On top of that, just like the last 48 hours, Jeremy Renner's already shooting Hawkeye, and we're like, who's been cast? Tell us details. Come on.
I'm either they're not announcing it because it's just a meme at this point.
Yeah.
They're like, it was said in like Variety said it like 6 months ago. Everyone knows who it is.
Right.
So what's the point in saying it? But it's just funny.
It'll be interesting when we see set photos of Kate Bishop, and we're all just like, hey, can you guys confirm it? Like, we don't know what you're talking about.
Kate who?
Yeah.
Who?
What is that? Or maybe they'll announce it at the same day they drop the Kate Bishop DLC for the Avengers game and hopefully giving us some boosts. That'd be kind of a nice way to handle it, but...
I can't imagine Kate Bishop's a draw for that game.
I can't imagine that Kevin Feige knows that game exists, but it's...
If he does, I'd be embarrassed for him.
What is this? Hey, stop! You forgot this garbage! Homer meme. Damn. Oh, dear.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're waiting for that DLC to drop to announce it.
It would make sense. It would, honestly, but hey.
Do you know the voice actress for Kate in the game?
I haven't even kept up with it. I'll check it out when the PS5
I was going to say,
shows up.
What a twist it would be if Steinfeld was actually, in fact, Kate Bishop, but only for the game. And it was someone completely different.
That'd be amazing.
What a twist.
Amazing. So, with that in mind, that's some of the things happening in 2021. We'll hopefully get back to this at some point, when we get more casting details and we start hyping up into releases. Like Miss Marvel and Hawkeye at this point, I'm thinking they're definitely coming end of the year 2021 or early 2022 at this point. So, like, they're getting back on schedule pretty good. That's at least my feeling of it. So
I wouldn't be surprised if Hawkeye's like WandaVision for 21.
Yeah.
And it's like Arian and Miss Marvel's probably going to be like maybe November.
Hey, hopefully the investors call in like 2 weeks. We'll know. So there we go.
That's true.
So Black Panther 2 had to quite obviously delay its production start. We know it was aiming to start, by all accounts, in January of 2021, and things got bumped back. So now it looks like it's going to start production in July of 2021, which gives them a little bit more time to get everything sorted and figure it out. And it sounds like we potentially already have our film villain. Like, if the casting is to be taken, seriously, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I don't know, like, could be the villain, could not be. They cast I believe like Latin American Mexican actor. I can't remember his name for the life of me right now. A lot of speculation on who it could be. The first thing that anybody came up with was White Tiger. Might make sense. I mean, why not? I don't know. White Tiger's a good enough character.
I mean, if it is White Tiger, it sounds very much like the first one.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like, here's someone trying to take over Wakanda again.
Yeah.
And it's just like, great.
Could you imagine, like, Wakanda's just sitting there in the middle of Africa, and suddenly Mexico's like, we're going to war with you. Why? Send White Tiger over there.
I think it's Tenoch. I think it's like Tenoch or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm probably butchering the hell out of the name. It's the guy from Narcos.
Yeah. I can't say his name. The first part is impossible to say. So, I don't know. Like, I feel that whatever route this movie takes, it needs to be different enough from the first movie. So it's not just, like you said, Wakanda's at war again. Oh, okay. Like, we've done that, and then we still gotta, since they cast him, and that's officially out there, it means they're rounding out the cast. Now, the biggest one that people have is, when are they announcing what's happening with T'Challa? And my big assumption is, and I'm just assuming this, we're going to hear what they do with T'Challa officially from Kevin Feige and Disney, and they will not, I repeat, they will not let this get out there as a rumor or somebody is on set as T'Challa and then the leaks hit. Like, they have to get ahead of this one. Like, just to be respectful, right? Like, they can't just let a rumor go out there and... Yeah, it's...
I say, it's one of those right now where I don't think anyone could be like, oh, I know what's going to happen. Because it's like, I highly doubt Coogler's even got to that part yet.
Yeah.
Like, yes, they might have a basic outline, right? We're going to use this character, we're going to cast this actor. Like, yeah, cool, fine. I don't think they quite know exactly. I don't think it's set in stone how they're going to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they've said they're not, or I believe they've said they're not going to use CGI, which, thank God.
Yeah.
No one wants that. No one wants that. No one needs that. But as to how they're going to handle it, I have no idea.
I assume they're going to announce, like, who is going to be playing Black Panther through a press release on their website or something. It's going to be a more tasteful way than letting just like a rumor or an article confirm it by something, right? Like, it's, like, they have to be respectful about it, and I trust they will be. I really would not be shocked if they did a new Marvel Presents style panel like they did for, the upcoming Phase 3 at the time. And maybe there they introduced a new actor and he says a couple kind words or something, or what they do or address the situation, because they can't just let it sit there and they can't pretend like nothing happened. So, that's, man, July. It feels like it's far away, but 3 months from now, we're going to be like, so they start Black Panther production in like 3 months, and here's the entire breakdown of everything we know. It's going to be like a rundown, right? So in all essence, it's literally so close. It's, I don't know. I'm just...
It's crazy how quickly they're moving forward.
Yeah. Yup.
Like, Guy's only been dead a few months.
Well,
which, in fairness, like that could be Cougar being like, no, I can't just sit here and dwell on the fact I have to get this movie done for him, and that's why it's moving so quickly.
I mean, I assume they're taking it like he did as well. Like, he was literally ready to start shooting. He was saying, "Oh, I'm going to be ready, guys. I'm going to be ready." Like, he didn't have it hold them back. And I think the last thing Chadwick would want is them to slow down with this important character that, you know, like, so many people gravitated towards and won Oscars and all that. Like, it's... No. You know, it's... Yeah,
so they're not going to slow down. At least for the sequel, they need to get something out there and do something right with it, because everyone's talking about it still.
Yeah.
Especially now with this news, where people go like, what are they going to do? Is it going to be Shuri? I imagine Shuri's going to have a more prominent role.
It's got to be. Yup.
Especially if you're going to make it about legacy, then I think it only makes sense for Shuri to be the next one.
Exactly.
I don't know about that. Because
I mean, like, fair enough. Like, the comic didn't do great.
Yeah, because like they tried that multiple times, and it just never started.
That's the comic side of things. A lot of stuff in comics hasn't worked, and the movies are made work.
That's so fact.
it is, but that's why I'm a little worried, because it may work or it just may not. This is just a weird thing to try.
Here's honestly, I feel. Because Ryan Coogler did Creed, right? And, like, a lot of people were like, how do you follow up Rocky with Creed? And a lot of people, including myself, who love Rocky, were like, I don't know if they're going to be able to do this, even in a good way that it can possibly be on the level of the original Rocky. And then you watch Creed and how they handle the whole legacy thing and still play it up, and Michael B. Jordan's acting ability, and like Creed to me is far superior than any Rocky movie. So like I think Coogler can nail that legacy thing, like just on the basis of that to me.
But the thing about it is that the child's story wasn't finished.
Yeah,
but that's one of the unfortunate things. You can't do anything about that.
Yeah, I know. That's one of the things that I'm like, it's gonna be weird if they go that route, because the story's not finished, so it doesn't really have much of a legacy.
Right.
I mean, he he kind of saved the universe. He's got a pretty big legacy. If without him, that gauntlet wouldn't have got anywhere. He ran that thing like no man's business.
He's the best career
ever. He's like, I've seen these football plays. Watch me do this. And it's like, no, it's. I think the fact that, take that out. Yes, he wasn't around. He wasn't king for that long in universe. You can play into that. Not everyone's story gets finished in life. And you can really lean into that. It's like, oh, he has so much to give. It's like, yeah, but unfortunately, he can't because he's gone. And you can make that part of the story.
Yeah.
And that is a driving force behind Shuri. She's like, oh, I need to finish what he started, sort of thing.
I know there was like that rumor out there that's like the movie's going to open up and the Black Panther will have passed away and it's about his legacy. I'm like,
I'd be fine with that because it just makes it more in line. It's a bit more of a slap in the face to exactly how one knows it's going to be.
Right, and we don't want a Carrie Fisher situation. We have a body double from the back for some scenes and like her hugging him awkwardly, and we're like, we know that's not a thing. Like that was jarring as hell as it was. So, it's. I mean, we'll find out soon enough. But I mean, by July we'll know. So,
yeah. I was like, did Boseman have like a brother who acted? Because you can kind of like you can get away with the Paul Walker way of doing things. It wasn't the best, but like if there's no one like that who could do it, or like someone he was close to, then I wouldn't.
I mean, they'll announce it soon, and we'll talk about it. I'm pretty sure when they announce whatever's happening, we're gonna hear from all sorts of sides and opinions. That's definitely coming. So
at the end of the day, I got full faith in Coogler.
Same.
Yeah, he had two brothers, an older one and a younger one, but I don't know if they look like him.
I mean, the older one would be way too old because Boseman was not exactly a spring chicken.
Yeah.
He was like late 40s, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Or am I just like?
Yeah, he was in his late 40s.
Yep.
So if they did do something
Which,
like
fair,
that,
isn't exactly old, but like any older than that, you're kind of like, ooh,
his younger brother is a dancer. So
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. Well, Star Wars keeps finding itself a topic of much discussion with this season of The Mandalorian, specifically because they're teasing a lot. They're building up a lot of lore, if you will, and referencing a lot of things. It's delivering what I think fans want. Is the best way to say it?
doesn't have an overarching story. They're just going place to place.
I can't stand that. It's like, yes, everyone knows it doesn't have an overarching plot. No one gives a crap.
Yeah.
Like, can we stop with just trying to point this out, thinking like you have something to say? Because you do not.
Here's the thing. People literally, the entire time Disney was working on the sequels and kept hearing about these other things, they're like, we want the Fett movie because it'd be small scale and doesn't have to touch upon the galactic destroy the universe thing. We hope Mandalorian is just one-off stories to corners of the universe we've never seen. They literally give you that, and now people are like, why can't it tie in with the movies? Explain Snoke's background. Then they possibly try to do that, and people are like, oh, it's just member berries for Snoke. It's like, go shut up. Like, goddamn, people. Like,
so just enjoy the bucket head and the little gremlin walking around space.
Legit.
It's what it's there. It's going the old school TV route of it's just week by week adventures. Like just sit back. It's not supposed to be that deep. No, I know it's Star Wars and people think it's supposed to be something, but just enjoy it for what it is. There's a frog lady carrying eggs in a bucket. Just enjoy it.
It blows my mind that people are going to be shocked and outraged when Obi-Wan isn't traveling to Alderaan and flying space cruisers and all this, because it's like, guess what? Whatever his story off of Tatooine is going to be, it's going to be small scale so he doesn't get on the radar of the massive empire. So, and Cassian Andor has to be the same thing. Like, the Fett series that's apparently going to be shooting, that has to be smaller scale as well. These stories are, like, you know, they're not as big, and they're
TV shows.
Exactly.
They're gonna be small.
Like, this isn't the Marvel Studios approach either, where the MCU is like, no, you have to watch these shows if you know what's happening. Star Wars is like, no, you can just pick and choose what you watch because we know you hate it all regardless because you like Star Wars. So, like, just watch it, right? Like,
and so, here's Bo-Katan. Cool. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, here, Ahsoka's coming. Get your masturbatory fanboy fiction out. Like, it's... I mean, I don't know. Like, we already know they're getting a third season. Moff Gideon seems to be played up as the big villain that they're going to build up for season 3, which makes sense with the Darksaber and everything. They're pretty much setting up the Mandalorian War, like a warring faction thing that's going to happen in the third or fourth season. Like, dude, this thing is going to be huge. Just give it time.
It feels so Dave Filoni. It might be because I only watched Clone Wars about a year ago at this point. It's still really fresh. The first 2 seasons of that show was so slow and meandering. And it's like, is Mandalorian the quickest thing out there? No, it's not. But I think that's part of its charm.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like, just wait. I bet you this. Like, if you want an overarching plot, I bet they're gonna pick one up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if it's the Mandalore stuff, cool. If not, there'll be something else. But I wouldn't be surprised if season 3 is more in line with what everyone's crying about.
Oh, definitely. It's gonna have its own little corner of the Star Wars universe to play with, away from anything else, because the other stuff that's happening is the First Order rising and all this and the Jedi and Luke establishing a new order, so they can't possibly touch upon that. Like, you know, it's...
They're gonna get all hyped on the Mandalorian and get the lightsaber.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he does use it at some point.
Oh, he'll definitely use it at some point, yeah.
Calling it right now, Bo-Katan's going to trade the kid for the saber. And that's going to be your big season 2 ending. Calling it right now.
Well, I guess we'll find out soon enough. So just a little Star Wars talk we want to talk about here. Season 2 so far has been, in my opinion, way better than Season 1. Like, every episode is just, god damn, they're doing a lot. Like,
I say I'm enjoying it about the same, which isn't a bad thing because Season 1 was a real high bar. But Season 2 has had the weirdest episode, like that first Frog Lady episode. I enjoyed the hell out of it, but it was really weird just to kind of shift to Frog Lady in a bath in a glacier. Like,
yeah.
This is not what I expected to be watching on a Friday. No. It's like, who was high at this moment when this was written? I don't know.
I mean, clearly Peyton Reed, right? Like, he was like, this is what I want. Giant Ant-Man gives the coordinates to Frog Lady. All right.
But then it all led to seeing Baby Yoda in a school chair. Like,
true.
It all led to that, so it's all fine. And apparently the sale of macaroons for $50. And it's like, macaroons.
Oh, that's ridiculous right there.
It's like, they don't cost that much, Disney. How dare you? Yeah. I could literally make those things myself for a fifth of the price.
You just dip them in green food coloring. That's it.
Amazing. It just shows you slap Star Wars on anything and the price increases.
Yeah. It's just like, they are 100%. Like, these companies know what's going to take off. If anyone says, we didn't know this was going to work, they're lying. Yeah, they always have the merchandise ready. So, we got a scene where Baby Yoda eats his biscuits and then chunders up later on. We're going to sell those.
Yep. Amazing marketing. So when there's more about Star Wars, we'll talk about it. Of course, those of you that are members of the channel, look out for more audio commentaries. The Ahsoka episode is one we're definitely going to have an audio commentary on. So, just stay tuned for that. And we'll be back with more Star Wars after what feels like years of Bob Iger screaming, Deadpool is happening in the MCU. He will be R-rated, and Ryan Reynolds will star. It's officially happening, as Bob Iger has said it. Surprise!
No, but from all the reports, it's going to be PG, so it's going to ruin it because it's Disney.
But Rob Liefeld said it wasn't going to happen.
Dude, have you seen him downplay that on social media?
Yeah, I see it.
The backtracking, yeah.
Amazing.
It's so bad. It's like, what happened to that picture of the decapitated Mickey Mouse head, Rob? Like, what happened to that? And saying that,
talking about it was satire.
It's like, I never said it's never going to happen. It's like, Liefeld, the implications you gave off in every statement said it's not going to happen.
There's literally a quote where he's like, Disney will not make a Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like, okay, Rob.
Amazing. So
I really hope they take the credit off and give the credit to the people that made Deadpool actually who Deadpool is.
That'd be amazing.
Just really drive that screwdriver in. Just like, no, piss off for life.
The thing with this whole Deadpool thing is now, yes, they got new writers, which I've never seen Bob's Burgers, but people say it's one of those shows like Rick and Morty where if you get it, you love it.
I'm not a fan of Bud Burgers. An old close friend of mine loves the hell out of it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But then I suppose that's Deadpool. Like, I don't get Deadpool, so it fits.
True.
No, but the thing it's weird to me is when people are trying to say, Disney won't make a good Deadpool because they don't know how he works. If you understand, we want like in the comics, and I'm like, outside his couple of early appearances, he wasn't serious at all.
Yeah, I
was gonna say he was a proper merc. He was the anti-Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, he's this not like dead straight merc. But
what?
Yeah, it's like only his early appearances he was actually kind of serious, but then as time went on, he just got crazy.
True story.
When Rob Liefeld left.
Right, like true story. I have a friend who's a big, in quotation marks, Deadpool fan. Has Deadpool merch. Loves Deadpool. He's all about Deadpool. And he was telling me Disney and Marvel won't understand Deadpool. And I was like, why? He goes, well, they're just going to make him, not what he is. And I was like, can you tell me why they call Deadpool the merc with a mouth? And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, because he was literally, a hired hitman that would, talk crap and distract you. And then he was a merc because he was super deadly and he did these ops. And he was like, what? I was like, oh, you've never read the comics. Okay, I get why you're a big Deadpool fan, because you saw the movie, you like the memes, yada, yada, yada. Like,
And say it's the Ghost Rider effect. It is a cool image.
yup.
That's what a lot of it is. But there was someone in our Facebook group being like, "Oh, they're gonna make him goofy." It's like because the first two movies were serious and they weren't comedies. Yes. Oh no, Disney's gonna make Deadpool goofy. Deadpool, of all characters, is gonna be goofy. No.
Like when I think about when I saw that comment, I think they probably meant it wasn't gonna have like that edgy humor anymore.
What edgy humor?
I don't know.
It's
That's what I thought.
It's basically fart jokes for 2 hours.
I think I laughed in Deadpool 2 like maybe once. And it was just like, this is all the first movie all over again. Same jokes. Like, I don't know.
It's like the edgiest Deadpool got in the movies with comedy was the baby joke.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like, that's just goofy because it looks horrendous.
Well, here, the other thing is, like, this is coming to Marvel Studios. Like, this is a Marvel Studios movie. Kevin Feige's going to have a hand in it. And I'm really excited by that factor to see how the MCU handles Deadpool, right? Because that's the big one. That's the big question anybody's had. And it's like, oh, well, what do they do? How does this character integrate? It's like, well, we're going to know in like 2.5 years, so...
I just want to know if they're going to do my really unique idea that no one's ever thought of, and they're going to do Deadpool kills the Fox Marvel Universe.
That is genius! Genius!
Hey guys, my theory.
Somebody
said
this has to be something nobody's ever thought. Somebody send this to Kevin Feige, please. I mean, I've seen that so much. Even my casual friends that don't know anything, they're like, "Do you think they'll make Deadpool kills the Fox universe?" I'm like, oh, come on. I mean,
I was gonna say ever since the merger, like someone had that one idea. It's like, yeah, that's a really cool idea, and people have just like dragged it into the ground.
I think that was our first discussion when the merger was announced. Is this going to be what they do? Like I remember it. It's like, yeah, that it should be a joke. That actually is what they should do. Like, if nothing, literally have Deadpool have Doctor Strange open up a portal and he drops a nuke. Just do something. Like,
just do some kind of hint towards it.
Yep. Because, I mean, it sounds like it's definitely going to be a Deadpool 3. Like, it's the third one in the series, so retroactively making the first two canon, however that's going to work.
So you could maybe kind of do like a Gwenpool.
Mm-hmm.
Where she's not, like, she's aware that she's in a franchise movie now.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, Gwenpool's whole thing is she's aware she's in the comic, or she was aware she was in the comic. But you can play it like, have the MCU a franchise in Deadpool, and then he just gets in there. And that's how he comes into everything.
That would honestly be probably the best way to do it, right? And then he can also drop an actual joke, being like, "Oh wow, it's finally good to be somewhere where there's continuity between characters and actors." Like, make a joke about it, because how many times did they joke about goddamn Professor X and continuity and the budget? Like, that was the staple of their jokes because they weren't allowed anything because Fox.
Yeah.
So now they have the freedom to do anything. So you could be like, wow, we could even afford Captain America. And then Sam Wilson shows up. They're like, oh, I guess it's the new one at least, right? Like, you can make a joke out of everything now. And
I say, here's how you do the third one. You have a big apocalyptic event because it's the third movie. It's got to be the biggest one. He can be self-aware of that. But he's the one that ends up causing it.
Yeah.
You don't call it like Deadpool kills the Fox Marvel Universe or anything like that, but you kind of lead it in there, and it's like, oh, he's the reason why the apocalypse happens. He ends up in a movie franchise, and that's how you can transition it. Just try and be slightly with it.
Yeah.
But it's Ryan Reynolds, so no, it's not going to be clever.
No, don't worry. Kevin Feige's going to be like, Ryan, that's really stupid. You can't do that. Which is clearly why they got rid of Ryan Reynolds' team. Like, it's interesting enough that, like, Ryan Reynolds was like, yeah, we're all committed to it, and then they're like, yeah, we're booting your team, and Ryan Reynolds is like, what team? What are you
He's
talking
Deadpool
about?
in real life. He really is Deadpool.
Exactly. So he's willing to play ball with Kevin Feige because he knows there's so
I was
much,
gonna say
so much.
It's a reluctant thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no, I want it to be all my team. And he's like, well, it's our way or the highway, Ryan. Like, I'm sorry, if you want this third movie and you want part of this pie, you play, you do as you are told. Like, yes, you're going to have some freedom on it, but it's our people. It's got to work with our stuff.
Ryan, do you see this like football field or this pizza? Yeah, how much of it do you want? 100%. Well, you get 10% of it. Play within your limit, boy. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's like, you can either have the money or you can not have the money. It's up to you. Do you want to go back to like post Van Wilder Ryan Reynolds? No, I didn't think so.
Do you want to go back to being Green Lantern? Didn't think so. Yeah.
Val Kilmer 3, boy, is right there.
Oh!
Get Kumail Nanjiani back. No, she wasn't Kumail Nanjiani, was it? The other guy. Oops, that was a big mistake on my part.
I can't remember, honestly. It's whatever.
A part of me wants to say he was in that now. I really don't know if I'm just making that up or not. Huh.
Wasn't Taika in Green Lantern?
Taika was in Green Lantern, yeah. He was a friend, yeah.
Boy,
that was weird.
That must have scarred him for life.
No wonder he's working for Marvel now. He's like, got to wash that stink off. But yeah, Reynolds is going to have some freedom. He's obviously going to have to play ball with the writers.
Yep. Good. They need to restrain him and give him limits because...
I don't get the argument of why people don't think it's a good idea to not limit people, but like obviously give them a kind of a limit with how to work in this franchise. It's like the reason why this all works is because they don't have full control.
Exactly.
It's like, no, you can do what you want, but you have to do what you want in the confines of this boundary that makes this thing work.
Just to make a connection, because I know a lot of our people listening to this do like pro wrestling as I do, it's essentially the Hulk Hogan syndrome. He quit WWF, went to WCW, and they told him, here's unlimited money, do whatever you want with it. And the company went bankrupt 5 years later. Because he literally wrote himself into everything to be the butt of every single storyline, joke, and everything that happened. And people are like, we're sick of you. You don't want that with Deadpool. You want him tastefully handled, because you don't want, like, let's say in the MCU, right? Let's say Spider-Man loses Aunt May in the 4th or 5th movie, because I guarantee they're going to get more Spider-Man movies, and everything.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want Deadpool to show up being like, hey, it's okay. She's just an actress. You're in a movie. It's okay, Peter. It's like, dude, that's so stupid. Like, and that's exactly what Ryan Reynolds would do, because that's what the second movie was all about, was this movie's pointless because it's a movie. It's like, oh, God, no. Like, that's what I don't want in the MCU, and that's what they're going to restrain. So, it's good. I think it's going to be handled well. That's my opinion on it. Like,
I hope it does. I really do. I'm trying to look at the cast for that Ryan Reynolds movie now. It's just like, who am I thinking of?
Actors.
How would be my guys?
Oh, maybe.
Just a whoops. Kumail Nanjiani, I apologize. You didn't deserve that.
Well, that will bring us to the end of the show, though. So that's pretty good. Yeah. It was
not bad. Not bad for a 4-topic show.
No, not bad. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, we're going to push this out a day earlier than normal, so hopefully you guys can enjoy it while you're, I don't know, out there swinging at people's heads with TVs that aren't actually discounted, but they make you think they're discounted.
I love that meme where it's like $4.99, wait for it. $4.99, wait for it. $6.99, mark down to $4.99, go.
It's so true. That's factual. And that's people, so that is actually what they do. Mm-hmm. That is 100% what happens.
See, over here, like, we've only really started to adopt Black Friday in the last couple of years, but it seems to be more legitimate, because I just saved 20 quid on my Christmas shopping for one thing. So I was like, hey, I'm buying that now.
That's nice. That's always good. There's always a couple things, like I buy my digital games because they usually do go on pretty good sales, and like in store, it's like, like buy 2 brand new games, get 1 free. It's like, damn, all right, that's a good deal. Like, if you still buy physical, that's a pretty good deal for you. But
I can no longer buy physical unless it's for the Switch. But even then, I got a memory card, so that's all digital.
Yeah, I'm all like 100% digital now. So, yep. So, yeah, hopefully everybody that's listening to this had a good Thanksgiving, or in other parts of the world, hopefully you had a good week.
Good Friday.
Good Friday, Thursday, whatever day you're listening to this. I don't know. And with that in mind, we will, as always, catch you guys next week.